Lubbock Matadors are all about partnering with local businesses and investing in the community.
Being a local business, it was really important to us, not only to support Dustin and his family, but the Matador Soccer Club.
Welcome into the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show, presented by Mears Mazda. Today's Coaches Show is sponsored by Mears Mazda Volvo. Lubbock locally owned luxury dealership at Mears. You'll find the best inventory, the best process, and the best prices. Since 1971, our focus is to provide our clients with an exceptional buying experience. I'm Rob Rowe here with the head coach of the Lubbock Matadors, Paul Gilbert. A long ways into the season here. How you feeling near the end of the regular season?
Yeah, feeling good. I think last Saturday after we won and we saw the other result, we just could kind of breathe and then start preparing for this next second season, if you will. Obviously, El Dustico is super important, and then the second season. So it's been good.
We've been getting some inside access to your pregame speeches. Talk us through these pregame speeches for those who don't get to see them or haven't seen them yet. What's your message to the team?
Yeah, so we always try to do a couple things. The first, and I say we because it's a staff thing. It's not just a me thing. We always have our checklist, the 4 things we need to do to win this match, and so those are largely football-based, tactical. And I think for me, the second piece is we want to first provide perspective. And so I always want to illustrate the importance of the environment we're in and how precious it can be and how it's coming and going real fast and how we need to embrace that. We need to embrace this atmosphere. Sometimes we want to calm them down with perspective of, hey, this is where we're at. This is what's going to happen. Like, let's keep in mind the greater context here. And then the second piece is to inspire and motivate. So for me, a lot of times that is largely based on feel, for how I'm feeling the guys are, what the energy in the locker room is like. Sometimes you don't need to say a word. Sometimes you need to have some sort of story that's a metaphor for actions you want from players. And then sometimes you just need to yell and scream and bang some stuff. And I think it's just a feel type thing.
Hit your head against the locker.
Yeah. Put some screamo music on or something like that.
Do the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior. So West Texas FC, you mentioned El Dustico. It seems like an easy built-in rivalry with the proximity. It's close. But right away it felt like an actual rivalry on the field. With how the game played out, how did it feel to you and the team?
Yeah, so I think before we get into the specifically West Texas, one of the things that we've realized this year is we literally get everyone's best shot, because visiting players get one chance to play in front of a crowd of 5,000 people. They get one chance to score a goal and quiet a crowd or clear a ball off a line or make a save. And so these players, like, this is the highlight of their summer. And it's been interesting to see that game in and game out with every team that comes to visit here. And then when we go on the road, since we're having a good year, we get people's best shot because they're like, we want to beat the team that's at the top of the table. So all that being said, now we have a bit of a rivalry game, and it's even more amplified. And so I was interested to see how the match would go, because both teams were basically already locked into the playoffs in more or less where they were going to be. So we're always going to be the number 1 seed, and then West Texas, with some things happen, could move 2 to 4, but probably looking at the 2 or 3 seed. And so I was pleasantly surprised at the intensity of the match, because it was fast, it was intense, and it was nice to see both teams had groups of players who genuinely cared about winning the match, and they weren't just out there because This is the next step in the season, and we're looking ahead. So for me, that was enjoyable. And even though we didn't come out on the right side of it for that match, it was still really good to be a part of that.
You lose the trophy for a couple of days potentially. How is it to have that kind of presentation, the trophy, the atmosphere, kind of a playoff atmosphere for a regular season game?
Yeah, so I think that's a misnomer that we lost the trophy. Like this is about 2 games. This is an aggregate thing.
Right.
And like I saw they took a picture with the trophy. I just didn't understand like yeah, it's an aggregate thing, so as far as I'm concerned, the trophy is still able to be won, and that's what our team believes as well. But obviously, I think that just adds to the rivalry. It puts a little bit of spin on things, and I think it's cool. It's cool.
All right, so every sports team goes through opportunities and games where it just feels like it's not going your way. You kind of control the game, but
Yeah.
it doesn't go your way at the end. You get some scoring opportunities, they just don't fall.
Yeah.
What's that conversation like mid-game where you feel like you're controlling the game, but it's just not going your way?
I mean, I think you just go into the locker room, you try to be calm, and you try to curb any frustrations that are building. Because obviously, like, you look at guys like Ethan and Pablo, those guys are in the top of the region in goals. Like, they score goals. That's what they do. And we have a saying with our group, think next action. Like, we always want to be focused on the actual action that we're doing and not external factors. And then after that action's over, we want to think about the next action. And so that's what we're telling our guys. Like, you miss a chance, think next action. Like, let's move on. And for me, that is comforting for me as a coach, that's our mentality, but it's also comforting for the players because they know that everybody has moved on. Like, no one's holding on to, oh, so-and-so just missed a clearance or so-and-so just missed a chance to score. And I think that's helped us throughout games. I mean, you look at the Denton Diablos match, for 40 minutes, we were really on the ball, creating chances, and we couldn't score. I mean, we had 2 or 3, like, really good chances to score that we should score, but we think next action, we keep doing what we're trained to do, and we score 2 of the best goals of the year, and then the second half, 3, 4, 5, game's over. And so for us, that is our mentality. That was my mentality the other night, and that's going to be our mentality going forward, is that we are going to be who we are. We are going to play our style, and hopefully that yields results. And if you don't score, then you got to score the next one.
Southwest Bank is here to help make your financial dreams a reality. Whether you're looking to buy a home, start a business, or preparing for retirement, our experts located right here in Lubbock will help advise you every step of the way. Learn more about our mortgage, loan, and wealth management services at Southwest Bank. Southwest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lenders. We heard the Mozos singing you happy birthday there in the first half.
Yeah.
What's it like seeing and hearing your fans doing things above and beyond during the match?
Yeah, well, I thought I kept it under wraps that it was my birthday because everybody just focused on the game. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever. But it was cool. I gave him a little thumbs up from the bench because I did hear it. A lot of times I hear nothing that's going on in the crowd, but that was cool. And I obviously am very appreciative of their uniqueness in that regard. Like, that's a piece of football culture that I think we miss in a lot of places in the U.S. that don't have those premier MLS teams that have supporters culture. The uniqueness of chants, the wittiness that goes on, the play on words, the sayings to other teams, and I think the Mozos understand that, and that's really, really cool because it's one thing to be in a stadium where people cheer for the team and they cheer when goals are scored or big defensive plays. It's another thing to have the drums and the smoke and the chanting throughout a match. And I think they've done a really good job of trying to replicate traditional football supporters culture in that regard, and they're growing every game, and I think it's so cool, and it just adds to the player experience, and also I hope it adds to the fan experience for people not in that group.
All right, so I don't always like to focus on officiating, but 2 games in a row here, we're coming down to officiating. You're not really getting the home field advantage as it comes to calls, seemingly. How do you feel about getting answers, and how do you go about maybe thinking about fans and how they affect the game?
Yeah, so I think the hardest part for officials when they come here is, for whatever reason, we've had several groups of officials that don't have headsets. So they literally can't hear each other. They can't hear the 4th official. So if the coaches have something to add, which we're supposed to go to the 4th official, I mean, what does the 4th official do? Like, just listens and then makes his own assessment. Like, the officials need to have headsets so that they can communicate with one another. The second piece is, I think sometimes the amount of fans and the reaction to calls, you can see it on certain officials' faces. They're like the atmosphere has gotten to them, and then they kind of just start like grasping at straws. And so, to be honest, I thought the official we had in the Fort Worth Vaqueros game, I thought he was phenomenal. He looked like somebody who had been in big moments. He looked like the crowd was great. And so I always think it's good to recognize good officiating. And then against Austin, I thought the sideline official on our side was the most professional, one of the best officials I've ever had. And we talked after the game, and he's like, yeah, I do some stuff for the MLS. And I was like, oh, makes sense.
There you go.
Like, you've been in front of big crowds. You understand the magnitude of the moment. And so really that's just it. And I will say this to finish off the official conversation. Everybody in this league is trying to grow, trying to get better at what they do. That's what this league is for. The players want to become pros. The coaches want to get better at their careers and maybe move up at some point. The game day management interns are doing stuff to develop their career. The front office have their ambitions. The officials are no different. They are people that are trying to probably advance in their career, and so there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be learning curves, and I think we do have to keep that in mind, that just like us, they're trying to grow and improve, and hopefully this is a vehicle and an avenue for them to do that.
Back on the field, what you can control, you've really controlled the last 14 games beyond the one that just happened.
Yeah.
14 in a row not losing a game, going back to last season.
Yeah.
Put that into perspective for the fans as just a year 2 club.
Yeah, so I think that's been the challenging thing over the last 48 hours for myself, for our team, is to put in perspective what's happened. Yes, we had an extremely disappointing end to the match on Wednesday night. However, we had been on the other side of that for 14 straight games, where, you know, we've gotten a result. I think there was one tie in that 14 games, and that's incredible, especially for a second-year club. Like, make no mistake about it, we have clubs in this league that have been around for years, and they're not like they're seeking that number one in the country, and it's hard to get to, and we've seen that throughout the NPSL and this level, that getting to number one in the country, winning the league, is hard. It is difficult. And so for me, it's very important, and I told our players and our staff that losing is going to happen at some point. And now, how do we respond to that? Who are we in the good times and in the bad times? Because that is going to define our real character is how we respond. And so for me, it was just another opportunity for growth, but also to look back and be like, wow, we did something really cool for 14 games, and that's a credit to our players, to our staff, to this club, and the consistency by which we've gone about our business.
Kind of breezed by it there, but you did win the league over the weekend, clinched it. Really incredible. Kudos to the Matadors there. And in the Lone Star Conference, which Dustin talks about regularly as the best conference in the NPSL. Maybe explain to the casual fan what exactly it means to win the league and what that sets up for you guys.
Yeah, so two things. First of all, we have 4 teams that are in the top 26 in all the NPSL. And you have Laredo as the 5th team, who's traditionally in that group. Like, our league is tough. It is hard to win consistently in this league. And so I think that is a great thing for our fans, that they get to see high-level soccer in just about every match. As far as winning the league, traditionally in American sports, right, we have the regular season and then we have the playoffs. And that's no different here, but when you look at soccer internationally and in the MLS to an extent, there is a greater weight or importance put on the whole body of a season, the league, if you will. And so it's kind of a testament to who's the best team over a long period of time through thick and thin. And you see it in the EPL, you see it in all the leagues in Europe, that the parties and the championships are for the league, whoever has the most points at the end of the league. And so our players also value that, and I think our fans do too, that winning the league is a testament to the total body of work of one season and the training preseason, winning games during the season. Whereas the playoffs, you have one bad game and you're out. So for us, we really want, like, we celebrated when we won the league. We were thrilled, and we think that is a massive accomplishment for this club, especially in year 2, when we're playing against clubs that have pretty rich histories in this league.
So you have one more regular season game before those playoffs. You'll run it back on Saturday against West Texas FC, part 2 of El Dustico.
Yeah.
What'd you learn from last match that makes you better on Saturday?
Yeah, we need to score.
Step one.
That's probably that's probably it. Like, I think you have 2 types of teams in this league. You have teams whose coaches tend to change every game based on the opponent, and then you have teams who they're going to play a very similar way. They may have a couple tweaks here and there, but they're going to be who they are, and they're going to make some adjustments during the game, and hopefully that's good enough to get results. Ironically, I think both Lubbock and both West Texas are that type of team. They're going to be who they are. They're going to play their system and maybe make some adjustments, and whoever gets the result gets the result. So for us, it's largely about us just being better in certain areas of the field. And I think obviously the scoring area or scoring zone, whatever you want to call it, is one of those. We need to finish our chances, and we did really well on defending counterattacks all but one time. And the one thing I'll say about that is I hope the fans can appreciate we were going to try to score. Like, we wanted to get the result. We were pushing numbers forward. And when you do that, sometimes you get caught. And we obviously got caught. And credit to West Texas, it was a great finish. And, they take the 3 points in the 1-0 aggregate. And hopefully we can turn that around.
You mentioned the aggregate earlier. So that means if you win 2-0, you'll win the – okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just make sure we all understood that.
Yeah.
Aggregate's a big word for some
Yeah,
people.
there you go.
I got it. But I'm just helping the
I love that.
Yeah,
love
just helping the people. All right, so if you could talk to our fans traveling down on Saturday, it sounds like there's a good crew of people going down there.
Yeah.
What is the hope from the team as they look up into the stands in the last regular season game?
You know, obviously, I think for us, all year, we're so blessed, we're so grateful, we're so appreciative of the support of our fans. And, you know, for us, like even last year, we look back to last year and juxtapose it a little bit. We're in 5th, 6th throughout the year, and then we can't make the playoffs, but we still have 4,800 fans at the last game, and we still hear that support, and we still hear the chanting. And we hope that we've been able to reward that a little bit with more winning this year. And obviously we're so thankful that they've stuck with us through thick and thin, and they're true supporters. So for that, I just want to say thank you. And then obviously we had fans travel to San Antonio. We had fans travel to Denton, and now we're going to have quite a few fans travel to Midland. And I think that's really special for our team. And that shows a level of support and loyalty that I just don't think you find. Like I don't think you find in the MPSL, and we're just so thankful. And hopefully our performance shows our gratitude for them.
Hey, Lubbock residents, need roofing solutions you can rely on? Look no further than our trusted local roofing company, Andrus Brothers. They offer top-notch roof repairs, replacements, and installations. With their experienced team and superior craftsmanship, they've got you covered. Don't wait. Call them today at 806-798-7663 for a free estimate. So we are talking playoffs.
Yep.
One regular season game left, and then
Yeah.
you go into the playoffs next Tuesday, hosting a game. How do you reconcile this final regular season game with preparing for the playoffs so soon?
Yeah, so I think we've had that situation in both in the last game and this Saturday. And I looked at my assistant and I said, we are going to try to win games. That is what we're here to do. And while we are going to be smart about minutes guys play in a week like we always would, we are trying to win games. And if that means that we get an injury, if that means that a player plays a ton, so be it. But, like, we've assembled this team. Each game we should go try and win, and that's what we're going to do. And so that's our approach. Earlier, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had people coming up to me saying, oh, well, you know, if this happens, then you play this team first round. If this happens, then you play this team. I said, no, we don't care. We will play whoever we end up having to play. They're all good teams. Everyone poses a threat to us, and we are not going to try to manipulate the final rankings so that we get a certain matchup. I just don't have that type of outlook on sport. I think we go try to win games. Every team tries to win a game, and the chips fall where they may, and you get matched up with who you get matched up against, and then we go try to win those games.
Is there a potential matchup now that we're this far into the season that we can look forward to?
Yeah, I think judging by the standings, it looks like we will either play Laredo or San Antonio in round one, depending on how those two wrap up the season, because they play each other, but then San Antonio has another game. So I don't know. There's a variety of outcomes, but I think because West Texas got 3 points against us, that keeps them out of the 4th spot no matter what. And so I think you'll see Brownsville, West Texas 2 and 3, us 1, and then either San Antonio or Laredo as the 4.
So final game of the regular season, as you're reflecting maybe from the community side or player side, fan side, how does year 2 compare to your first year here?
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of what we've done, of the club we've become. And it's not – I understand the getting to 9-0, getting to number 1 in the country, winning the Lone Star Conference. That is all fantastic, and we're all very thrilled that we were able to accomplish that. But I have to be honest. We've had over 200 kids come through our camps this summer. We've seen our players build relationships and impact the lives of people outside of football, so in the Lubbock community. And I told them this before they started. I told them this halfway through the season, and I told them this before the first game of El Dustico. You want to leave a legacy. You don't want to just be another player who came to Lubbock for a summer, who had a good experience playing football. You want to be remembered, and you want to leave a legacy. And I've challenged them, and I'll continue to challenge them to do that. I think their legacy is firmly cemented in this club's history of the group that started it in year one and built it up even better in year two. And they connected with people on a personal level. And for me, there's just no better feeling than that. I'm so proud of what we've been able to do.
All right, this is the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show. Coach, any final thoughts to the fans?
Yeah, I mean, fans, I just want to, again, thank you for your support and for the massive attendance that we had last match. And I hope that you see the work that the players do and the staff does as evidence on the field. Not necessarily the result, but in the intensity by which they play with, in the amount that they care, right? Like you see it with their response to the officials, to the fans. They care. Like it's deep in their hearts. And sometimes I think that's rare when we get into the higher levels of sport, is that deep connection. And we had two guys that had to go home for a visa issue and then a family event that's really important. And man, those two guys were in tears. Like they were choked up because that was the last time they would see some of the people for a little bit that they've made connections with, and the last time that they'd play in front of the Lubbock faithful and the Mozos. And so I just again want to thank you guys and say thank you for sticking with us, and we're going to keep going, and this playoff run should be exciting.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us today on the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show presented by Mears Mazda. We'll be back with Kodai, the player, right after this. But first, streaming for today's Coaches Show is brought to you by Mears Mazda Volvo, Lubbock's locally owned luxury dealership since 1971. Our focus is on our clients. We want them to enjoy their experience, find the vehicle that is right for them, and ultimately be glad they came to Mears. We'll be right back with more on the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show presented by Mears Mazda.
The Lubbock Matadors are all about partnering with local businesses and investing in the community.
Being a local business, it was really important to us not only to support Dustin and his family, the Matador Soccer Club.
Three, two, one, ready, set, go. Ready, set, go, set, go, set, go. 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
Welcome back into the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show presented by Mears Mazda. We're here with Kota, sorry.
Yeah,
Welcome in. First off, where are you from originally?
I'm from Yokohama, Japan. The Yokohama is a city next to Tokyo. You know the Tokyo?
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, the Yokohama has the beautiful sea, the towns, and then there's so many like nice people. So if you come to Japan, I recommend you to go to Yokohama.
Can we look you up when we come?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how did you end up in Lubbock playing for the Matadors?
I had played for the UMKC University of Missouri, Kansas City, and their head coach know the coach Gilbert. So, and then the head coach from UMKC recommended me to go to Lubbock Matadors because I know that we have so many like good fans, so many audiences, and then good facilities, environments. That's why I decided to come to Lubbock Matadors.
And how did you get to UMKC?
I went to the JUCO, the Marshalltown Community College, for the first 2 years, and then their assistant coach transferred to the UMKC, and then he recruited me to the UMKC. That's why I decided to go to UMKC.
Uh, what is unique about playing with the Lubbock Matadors, maybe as opposed to your college events or somewhere else you've played?
Normally the college sports doesn't have the enough funds, but that at the UMKC, like, the maximum was the 1,000 fans to watch our game, but the Matadors it's average over 4,000 fans. That's so unique for me, and then that's so like unbelievable stuff for me.
How do you like the Mozos? Is the chanting new for you?
I
as well?
love them. I'm in the models chat group in the Discord, and then they always talk about the Matadors like every single day, every single minute. They always talk about the Matadors. That's amazing, and then that's really helpful for us.
So how did you get into soccer originally?
I started playing soccer when I was 3 years old. Because my dad played soccer, and then there was always 5 balls in my house. So, and then I'm growing up with soccer, and the soccer created me. And then I made so many friends because I played soccer, and then I had a great opportunity to go to US because I played soccer. That's why I get into the soccer.
All right, so talk me through your pregame mindset with such a big home game in El Destico. What are the players thinking and discussing leading into that match?
My mindset is the same as the other game, because I know it's a big game, but in my opinion, I don't need to change the mind like every single game. I just want to win the game, and I just want to show my 100% for the fans. So, yeah.
How'd you feel the first half went?
I would say it was good first half. We could create so many chances to score. Unfortunately, we couldn't score, but that we made so many chances to score, and then I was thinking like, yeah, the goal is coming soon.
Yeah, you have that confidence.
Yeah, we had the confidence.
So when you get into the locker room at halftime in a match like that, what are you saying to each other? What are you thinking? And I guess confidence is key, but how did you feel like you'd come out in the second half?
We are saying like, yeah, we just keep going because we could create the chances. We just scored goal. And then our organized defense is so good because they didn't like have big chances the first half, so we just keep going.
So talk us through the challenges and problems you face going through such a hard-fought match.
Obviously, that was a hard question because we couldn't score the ball. We couldn't score the goal, but we know that we have a good attackers: Pablo, Isan, Stefan, Luke. I know, and then they already scored so many goals so far, and they're the top scorer in this conference. And also normally the soccer, the attacking starts from the defenders because we build up the ball from the defenders. So if we could, and then there's no rule that defender cannot score the goal, and also there's no rule attackers cannot make a defense. So it's the team's problem, and then we have a time to improve those issues because we have the game tomorrow and then the playoff next Tuesday. So we have a time to practice tonight and Sunday, Monday for the playoffs. So I hope we're gonna score a lot of goals in the playoffs and tomorrow.
When's the last goal you scored from a defensive role?
Not for the Matadors, but I scored 2 goals at the college last season.
Does that feel pretty good? Do you have a celebration?
Yeah. And that I'm a outside back, so I made so many assists.
Okay.
But not for the Matadors yet, so yeah. I will try to make a assist in the future.
It's coming. Maybe a playoff assist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that'd be big.
If I have a chance to play, yeah.
All right, so how did it feel? You talked about the crowds, the fans already. A record-setting crowd of over 5,300 people cheering and booing officials celebrating you for all your work this season.
It's amazing. It's a top 10 records in the NPSL history, right? So that's the amazing stuff. And then I'm so appreciated supporters, and I love the time to celebrate the win after the game. We had a hand clap, and then the the singing the song together. That's an amazing time for me.
Howdy Homemade Ice Cream is on a relentless pursuit to create jobs for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities through the power of smiles and amazing ice cream. Come check out our newest Matador-inspired flavor at every home game or in the West End Shopping Center. If you had an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Strawberry.
Strawberry?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite flavor?
That's my favorite flavor.
Okay. So what does the upcoming game, the second El Dustico game, mean to you with the trophy and the balance?
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity to get back the trophies. So we gotta win this game to get back the trophies, and then, yeah, of course we lose the 0-1 the last game, so we're gonna win like 2 or like more.
Well, if you could like pick a score, what would you pick?
3.
3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm down with that. Leave no doubt, right?
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about the playoffs coming up?
Oh, I'm so excited to play the playoffs. So I don't know the opponents yet, but there are so many good teams in this conference. So that game is really like good to improve my skill, also like team. So yeah, I'm so excited to play the playoffs.
All right, we're going to do some rapid fire here on the second page. I'm going to ask you about your teammates. You're going to give me who best fits the answer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, who has the best trash talk on the team?
I would say Mita. When you see the game, he's always talk with the referees, you know that? So that's why I would say like it's a Mita.
He's been a popular answer. All right, who's your funniest teammate?
The funniest, there are so many people, like the funny people, but I would say like Marcos. I call him the baby Marcos because he can't eat a tomato, like he can't eat the vegetables, and like I live with him, but he doesn't wash the dishes after he ate, and then his room is kind of messy, so but he's so funny.
All right, who's the best dancer on the team?
You know, I don't really like to go to club, so I don't know who's the best dancer, but I would say Kodai because so many like players say that Kodai is the best dancer and the funny.
Okay, who can kick the furthest?
I would say Sam. He's a goalie, and then he, normally kick the goal kick.
Who would win a crossbar challenge?
It's an easy question. It's me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it. Which teammate could juggle the ball the longest?
It's an easy question as well because, yeah, it's me. Because when I was 12 years old, I did a juggle for an hour. And I quit a juggle because I wanted to go to the restroom, so.
So you could have gone longer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Which teammate could do the coolest trick shot?
I said Luke.
Luke?
Yeah, he has a great technique.
All right. So if you get an assist or a score, do you have any celebrations planned out?
Oh, yeah. I would do the Kamehameha, which is the Japanese like traditional anime. Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to do that. Yeah, like this.
Duke?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right. So any final thoughts to the fans that might come down to Midland?
Yeah, thank you for all your support. I'm so happy to play in front of the over 5,000 fans. I played for the Lubbock Matadors last year, and I decided to come back here because I believe that we have the best fans, staffs, and teammates. So we have a game tomorrow and next Tuesday playoff. So we're gonna win those games. So see you soon.
All right. That was Coda. We'll be back with Dustin McCorkle after this, but first, today's Coaches Show is sponsored by Mears Mazda Volvo. Lubbock locally owned luxury dealership. At Mears, you'll find the best inventory, the best process, and the best prices. Since 1971, our focus is to provide our clients with an exceptional buying experience. We'll be right back with more on the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show presented by Mears Mazda.
The Lubbock Matadors are all about partnering with local businesses and investing in the community.
Being a local business, it was really important to us, not only to support Dustin and his family, but the Matador Soccer Club.
Three, two, one, ready, set, go. Ready, set, go, set, go. Three, two, one, ready, set, go. go.
Welcome back. We're here with GM Dustin McCorkle. Dustin, it feels like every time you come back to us, it's another record crowd or record attendance or something like that. What a game on Wednesday. Is this back-to-back at least record crowds?
Yeah, it's both last two games have been our record-setting crowds from year one and year two. And for those who don't know, it's really hard coming into your sophomore season. It's really easy. I think a lot of fans question and businesses question, like, hey, you're new in town. You're the shiny new thing. Yeah, people are interested in going year one, but will they come back year two? And to be able to have last two games and this last game specifically to go into the regular season top 10 all-time attendance for the league in 20 years, that feels absolutely incredible. And what a wonderful environment this last week was. Take the results off the table. Our fans were unbelievable, and it was really hard to concentrate on anything else because it was so loud in here the whole time.
It felt like not only the biggest crowd, but one of the most fun nights. How do you go through the process of making the events different every week and fun?
Yeah, I think a huge shout-out to Pepsi for this last game. Again, each game we try and partner with somebody locally that's going to bring unique elements to our environment to help us make this event special each time. And, all the things that they did to participate, to drive the engagement, to help alongside us, can't say thank you enough to them. Even having the senior GM of Pepsi fly in town from Denver, Colorado, to be a part of the night, as he works with teams in the MLS and USL, and for him to turn around and see 1,000 rally towels waving throughout the game. At one time, I was watching him take video, and he was so complimentary. The partners have made this thing so special for everybody.
You mentioned the rally towels. You had Krista Gerlich at the game, and she seemed really involved. She led some chants with the Mozos. That was awesome. And then also the halftime, 3 against 100, which was really cool. What else went on last night?
Yeah, well, just to touch on those items, I think the rally towels were amazing. I would encourage anyone who's going to be coming out to the playoff game on Tuesday, let's bring those rally towels back. Those were incredible, contributes to the environment in a really big way. But Krista, man, I got to say, we've had some amazing first kick guests, but her enthusiasm and willingness to just jump right in and be a part of the crowd, going up with the Mozos, banging a drum for a few minutes, and then actually leading a chant with them. And she was so complimentary and nice, and she is such a big representation of West Texas as a whole. It was really fun to have her out and see her team involved, and just the complimentary nature of her regarding our event goes a long way because she set such a huge tone with her winning culture and what she's doing with the women's basketball program. And as a Texas Tech grad, so grateful for all of these coaches that are wanting to come along, support, and be a part of the journey with us as we're trying to continue sports and get everyone amped during a time of year that there's nothing going on in that world. So such a fun night, and it was really cool to be a part of that. And I'll tell you, for those who didn't see, please go to our YouTube channel, watch back our game, but specifically stop at that halftime. For those who don't know, we had almost 100 kids down on the field at halftime to compete against 3 of our players to see who could score a goal. And watching waves of 30 and 40 kids traveling to each player and them actually trying to score a goal. I don't know if the fans know, but I literally told the players, you're going to try to score, because I was like, A, I think it's going to be hard, but B, I mean, these guys are super talented, and it'll show with the amount of kids on the field. But they couldn't do it, and that energy gassed pretty quick with how much running 3 guys were trying to do on that large of a field. And it was amazing seeing, one kid get to score a goal on the players at the end of the match, and the fans going nuts. And, for me, each game I take a step back. I'm just smiling because I'm like, this is a moment in time that some child is going to be able to talk about for a very long time. And you look over and see their parents on the sideline smiling. As a parent now, myself, that's what matters, and to talk what Coach was talking about earlier, we want to win for the fans, but this other stuff is way more meaningful, in my opinion, of what we're doing and creating culture and relationships.
When you think game day, think local first. Cardinal Sports Center, serving Lubbock and the surrounding area for over 75 years. Cardinals is an official retailer for the Lubbock Matadors and the Lubbock Matadors apparel. So you have the rally towels, you have Coach Gerlich, you have the halftime, you have the record-setting crowd. But overall, talk about the atmosphere of the game, because it really did feel intense.
Yeah, I think Coach touched on it a little bit earlier, but I do think our fans make it hard on everyone that's in our building. They see something that they don't like or feels like it should be called, and it's not. Like, you're going to hear it, and it's going to be loud for a while. And the amount of intensity that was in that game for a very long time. The owners of West Texas FC and their head of operations was in town for the game, and not to relive the moment, but 45 seconds before the goal happened, we were both looking at each other, and I was like, I would really like for this game to end, because what isn't really talked about, I mean, we were 6.5 minutes into stoppage time. Like, the amount of stoppage time that's getting added to the end of these games is just wild to me. We played for almost 9 minutes additional, but we were both like, I would really like for this whistle just to be blown, and then that happened. But the atmosphere is crazy. To what Coach was talking about earlier, I think myself and others made a mental note of how the celebration happened after the goal, how long the other team stuck around to make sure that our fans knew that they won. And it was one of those moments where it's like, you get to have that, and yes, you did that in front of all of these people, but I think deep down, regardless, our players want to get that win back. And then additionally, the amount of people that stuck around to still cheer for our guys no matter what. I mean, we still had 4,000 plus that didn't go to the parking lot after that game, that came down to interact with our players and make sure their kid had moments with that. And I got to give it up to our guys for being a part of that.
Yeah, you talk about it post-game, first ever fireworks show, and then you still had the kids and parents coming down. You still had the players sticking around. So even after an emotional game, you still have that interaction afterwards.
Yeah, it was really hard. So we actually had the fireworks planned to go off later, but I realized the intensity of that moment. I was like, we need to give our guys a few more minutes to calm down. So we radioed in and had the fireworks going right off the bat. And again, it's a special way to end the regular season. We had so much to celebrate, and I know our guys wanted to have an undefeated season at home. But sometimes that's the way football works, right? Like, it just doesn't go your way that night, but that doesn't take away from the 14 games undefeated leading up to that we got to be a part of. And what a run that our club and our players went through to be able to provide that sort of entertainment value for our fans. And so for us, fireworks were a moment to chill a little bit and then reset. And we gathered everybody as a group and we talked about what really matters. And I think our players did take a second to look up in the stands and see, wow, like, they're not rushing to get out of here just because we lost. And then you saw the smiles, then you saw the interactions, the autographs, the let's go kick a ball around with the guys after the game. And those are going to be the things that bring people back to the next game, in my opinion. And the hard part was, though, there were some people that didn't realize there was a playoff game coming up on Tuesday. So we're doing our best to share that message that, like, that wasn't your last opportunity, and we're going to get more coming up starting Tuesday.
For locally owned hometown service, look no further than the Matador sponsor, Grease Monkey and Monkey Splash of Lubbock. Stop by and take care of your automotive needs today. One more regular season game before the return trip to Lubbock on next Tuesday for the playoff game. Share with the audience what the team is doing and how you're getting down there for a game against Midland.
Yeah, so we're really encouraging everybody. If you came to the game, you saw they brought a handful of fans, which I think was great. I think it's the first time we played in these 2 seasons that we've actually had any sort of opposing fans in the building outside of staff from the team. And it was great. I was excited that they came up here, but I really want to rally and bring a large crew down there, not just a handful. So we just announced on social about an hour ago, but we do have some spots on a sponsored bus. So Nicholas Financial and Kings Highway have partnered up together, and through both of them, they're actually going to provide a $5 trip, round trip from Lubbock to Midland. There's only limited seating on that bus, but the club itself is going to provide a free ticket for anyone who wants to go down to Midland on us. So you go to our website, lubbockmatadors.com. You could put your info in, and we will provide you with a free ticket on behalf of the club. The only ask is that you get yourself down there. So we're actually going to be meeting at Tall City Brewery down there. Two Docs up here has a good relationship with them. They're going to do some Matadors specials so that we can have some time to hang out, get to know some people, and interact as a club and fan group together. And then that'll be around 3:30. And then at 5:30, we're going to head to the stadium. They're going to have a pavilion party with food and drinks. Their ownership group will be out there. And so we're going to go support, be a part of it, and go make that environment a lot of fun. We have at least 20 mozos going. So you will have drums, you will have flags, and we're encouraging everybody to show up wearing white. We're going to try to do our best to white out Midland for that night.
So a caravan of fans, if you don't get on the bus, you can still go down there, meet at Tall City Brewing, you say?
3:30.
At 3:30.
Yes, and go to our website to get your free ticket.
So even if you don't get on the bus, you can get a free ticket?
Correct. Yep.
All right. Is that normal around the MPSL that you have a caravan going down to other fans?
I think that there in some other conferences where regional play is much closer, you do have some fans that travel, but I don't know too many clubs that have had a travel partner step up to the plate, offer a bus along with a partner that steps up and says, hey, I want to provide basically a free trip to your fans to be able to go do that. So, again, the Matadors are all about how can we create something new, unique, and do different fun things, especially for a regular season game. I think this is unique. So I'm excited. I hope we start building some trends within the Lone Star Conference to where people want to do these type of things. And, you know, through our sponsors and through our business partners, we're looking to provide unique ways to make impacts on community. This is a way to bring people together on behalf of two businesses. And I think everybody's going to be really excited about it. And I hope that we can get 200-300 fans down there. And like I said, we might be able to match attendance. We'll see. We're going to do our best to try and get as many people there as we can.
Alliance Credit Union has served the South Plains community with lower rates and fewer fees for the last 83 years, and we're just getting started. Join the mission and enjoy the benefits of owning your financial future. Alliance is for people, not profit. All right, the playoffs are coming up. That starts on Tuesday here at home.
Correct.
I don't want to look too far ahead here. Coach Gobert's going to shoot me in the eyes, but if you win that one, are you home again? We
are. So due to their hard work and winning the league last Saturday against Denton, we're in until we lose. But additionally, next Saturday, July 15th, will also be a home game. So the best way to get your tickets is a couple different ways. If you're a current season ticket holder, that is part of the benefit of being a season ticket holder. So we are going to upload their tickets today. They will be ready to go. Same with our partners. So if you're a local business in town, you're looking to get involved with the club, tickets is part of that situation. The other way is we're going to anyone who's looking to be a season ticket holder for next year. If you go on our website, lubbockmatadors.com, secure your season tickets for next year. We will go on ahead and put free tickets in for playoffs this year. And it's only $12 a month. So pretty good deal. And if not, you can go online, buy tickets just for for Tuesday and just for Saturday. And those are going to be $12 a piece. So
if you want a bus ride to Midland, if you want a free ticket to Midland, if you want playoff tickets, if you're looking for season tickets, LubbockMatadors.com.
That is the place to go. Go to our tickets page.
All right. So what do you hope to see on Tuesday night?
Oh man. It's hard. I don't want to keep trying to level up the bar, but setting the record with 5,315, I believe, was the final head count. I'd love to see us start marching towards that 6,000. And our local media has done a great job of covering us, getting the word out, and helping us market. But we are so close to such a special moment. I want to continue to do amazing things for our guys because they have worked really hard for our community, and they're really proud to be here. And we've seen that give back from our fans. So I just want to make sure everybody keeps doing it.
Speaking of the fans, any final thoughts for the Matador faithful out there?
Yeah, I want to echo what Coach said. I hope this season we can continue to deliver some wins for everyone. But when we look back, I really hope that everyone can say you doubled down on your efforts to create community impacts. And I hope we're aspiring some youth locally that see Coach Gilbert and see some of our players that want to grow up and play here. So we're going to continue in the offseason once that hits to develop our plans to further ingrain ourselves with our youth. We're going to continue to need that fan support and business support. So if you fall in any of those categories, please reach out to myself. My contact info is on the website. But let's show up big for our guys on Tuesday.
All right. This was another edition of the Lubbock Matadors Coaches Show presented by Mears Mazda. We'll see you one more time, at least?
At least.
All right. We'll see you then.
The Lubbock Matadors are all about partnering with local businesses and investing in the community. Being a local business, it was really important to us, not only to support Dustin and his family, the Matador Soccer Club.